Ladies and gentlemen, look around you. Everything you see, everything you touch, feel, or imagine, it is all in motion. The trees sway with the wind, rivers carve their way through the land, and even the stars are caught in a cosmic dance. Life is not static, it flows, it breathes, it transforms, and yet we often resist this flow, don't we? We grasp at certainties, we clutch at plans, and we strive endlessly to control the uncontrollable. Life is a river, ever flowing, never stagnant. From the moment we are born to the instant we take our last breath, every experience, every moment is fleeting. This truth that nothing lasts forever is often met with fear and resistance. We hold on tightly to people, achievements, and circumstances, hoping to keep them frozen in time. But this clinging is where our suffering begins. To find true freedom, we must embrace impermanence, for it is not a curse but a gift, a profound teacher guiding us to live more fully. Imagine a world where nothing changed. The seasons would not turn, the night would never give way to day, and no growth would be possible. Such a world, unyielding and static, would be lifeless. It is the fleeting nature of things that gives them their beauty. A sunset is breathtaking not despite its transience but because of it. The petals of a cherry blossom are no less exquisite because they will soon fall. In fact, their impermanence makes their brief bloom all the more precious. Yet we often resist this truth. We strive to preserve what we love, to shield ourselves from loss, and to prolong our pleasures indefinitely. But in doing so, we miss the essence of life. Life's value does not come from its permanence, it comes from its vitality, its movement, its constant unfolding. When we let go of the need to hold on to everything, we discover that freedom lies not in grasping but in releasing. Embracing impermanence doesn't mean becoming detached or indifferent. It doesn't mean we love less or stop striving. On the contrary, it allows us to engage more deeply with life. When we accept that everything is temporary, we are inspired to cherish the present moment more fully. Instead of fearing the end of a relationship, we pour our hearts into each shared laugh, each touch, each conversation. Instead of dreading the conclusion of a chapter in our lives, we savor the journey, knowing it is unique and unrepeatable. Impermanence also liberates us from the illusion of perfection. If nothing is permanent, then no mistake is final, no failure is absolute. The moments that feel unbearable now will pass, just as moments of joy do. This understanding grants us the courage to take risks, to explore, to live boldly. It reminds us that change is not an enemy, but a constant companion, whispering to us that every ending is also a beginning. So let us embrace the impermanence of life with open hearts. Let us see it not as a shadow, but as a light, illuminating the path to freedom. For when we stop clinging to what must inevitably fade, we discover the boundless beauty and possibility of the ever-changing present. And in this acceptance, we find not just peace, but a deeper, more profound joy, a joy that arises not from trying to hold the river still, but from flowing with it. Consider the ocean. Each wave that rises and falls seems to have its own form, its own movement, its own life. Yet it is not separate from the ocean itself. The wave is the ocean, expressing itself in motion. This is not just poetic imagery, it is a truth that runs to the core of existence. Just like the wave, you are not separate from the universe. You are an expression of it, a momentary form through which it experiences itself. We often think of ourselves as isolated beings, divided from the world around us. Society, language, and even our senses reinforce this illusion. We are given a name, an identity, and a boundary, our skin, beyond which everything is deemed not me. Yet, if you look closely, this separation begins to dissolve. The air you breathe, the food you eat, the light you see, these things don't merely interact with you, they are part of you. The very cells in your body were born of stardust, and the energy coursing through you is the same energy that lights the sun. This understanding changes everything. When you see yourself as separate, life becomes a competition, a struggle to control and dominate another. But when you recognize that you are a part of the whole, life becomes a dance. You realize that just as the tree doesn't grow against the soil, but with it, you too are not battling the universe, you are flowing with it. This recognition brings profound peace. The universe is not out there distant and indifferent, it is within you and around you. The same intelligence that orchestrates the galaxies orchestrates the beating of your heart. The same creativity that paints sunsets and crafts mountains expresses itself in your thoughts, your words, your actions. You are not a lonely fragment, you are the universe, localized in time and space, experiencing itself as you. And this understanding dissolves fear. Fear arises when we see ourselves as vulnerable and alone, standing against the vastness of existence. But if you are the universe, what is there to fear? You are not a tiny, insignificant being at the mercy of fate. You are life itself, unfolding, exploring, creating. Even the struggles and challenges you face are not external forces acting upon you. They are the universe growing, just as a seed must break open to become a tree. Moreover, when you recognize your unity with the universe, you begin to see that everything is interconnected. The well-being of others, of nature, of the world itself is also your well-being. Compassion flows naturally from this understanding, for how can you harm another when they are, in essence, a part of you? So let go of the illusion of separation. See yourself not as a drop in the ocean, but as the ocean itself, momentarily appearing as a drop. When you embrace this truth, life becomes richer, deeper, more harmonious. You are no longer a solitary figure moving through the world. You are the world, alive and infinite. Life, at its core, is a mystery, vast, unpredictable, and beautifully uncertain. Yet, as humans, we are often uncomfortable with this unpredictability. We create plans, set goals, and try to shape the world to fit our expectations, clinging tightly to a sense of control. But this need to control is like trying to grasp water with clenched fists. The tighter we hold on, the more it slips through our fingers. To find peace, we must learn to let go of this illusion of control and surrender to the natural flow of existence. Control is a comforting illusion. It gives us a sense of security, a belief that we can predict and dictate the outcomes of our lives. But reality is far more complex than our plans. Events unfold with a logic that transcends our understanding. Sometimes even our best-laid strategies unravel in the face of life's unpredictability. In these moments, frustration, fear, and anxiety often take hold because we're resisting what is. But what if we could see these moments not as failures of control, but as invitations to trust the flow of life? The universe has been in motion long before we arrived, and it will continue long after we are gone. Seasons change without instruction. Rivers find their way to the sea without maps. Stars are born, live, and die without intervention. There is an inherent intelligence in this flow, a rhythm that we are a part of, whether we acknowledge it or not. Surrendering to this flow does not mean giving up or being passive. It is not resignation, but a deeper trust in the process of life. It means accepting that there are forces at work beyond our comprehension, and that sometimes the best thing we can do is let go and allow life to unfold. Just as a sailor cannot control the wind but can adjust the sails, we too can navigate life by aligning ourselves with its natural currents instead of fighting against them. When we let go of the need to control, something remarkable happens. We free ourselves from the constant tension of trying to manage every detail. We stop resisting reality and start flowing with it. This doesn't mean life will always be easy, but it becomes more harmonious. Challenges and changes are no longer enemies to be defeated, but opportunities to grow and adapt. Moreover, surrendering allows us to be fully present. When we are consumed by trying to control outcomes, we miss the beauty of the moment. We are so focused on reaching the destination that we forget to enjoy the journey. But when we let go, we can truly experience life as it is, unfolding moment by moment, full of wonder and possibility. Ultimately, surrendering to the flow of existence is an act of profound trust. It is trusting that the same force that moves the tides and spins the galaxies also moves through us. It is trusting that even in uncertainty there is wisdom. And it is in this trust, this letting go, that we find true freedom and peace. In our quest for happiness, we are often caught in a cycle of striving, always chasing after something just out of reach. We tell ourselves that joy lies in the next promotion, the next relationship, or the next achievement. Yet, even when we reach those milestones, the sense of fulfillment is fleeting. The truth is, joy is not a destination. It does not reside in a future outcome or an external reward. Instead, it arises here and now in the simple act of being fully present. Consider this: when you were a child, you did not need grand reasons to feel joy. A sunny afternoon, the sound of laughter, or the wonder of discovering something new was enough. You weren't worrying about the future or analyzing the past. You were simply present, immersed in the moment. As adults, we often lose touch with this natural state of presence. Our minds are consumed with what we should have done differently or what we need to do next. But joy cannot flourish in a mind preoccupied with elsewhere. It blooms in the here and now. The key to this joy lies in attention. When we give our full attention to the present moment, even the simplest experiences become rich and meaningful. A sip of coffee can be a moment of delight if we truly taste it. A walk in nature can feel magical if we notice the rustle of leaves, the warmth of the sun, and the rhythm of our steps. Joy is not something we need to create. It is something we uncover when we stop and pay attention to life as it is. This does not mean we should abandon ambition or stop striving for goals. Ambitions and achievements have their place, but they are not the source of lasting joy. When we tie our happiness to achieving, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Even if we succeed, the satisfaction is often short-lived, and we find ourselves setting the next goal, believing it will finally bring the joy we seek. The cycle never ends because joy cannot be found in the future. It is a quality of the present. Being fully present also helps us weather life's challenges. When we are truly in the moment, we realize that even difficulties have their own richness. Pain, sadness, and loss are part of the human experience, and when we face them with presence, they can teach us, deepen us, and ultimately bring us closer to the fullness of life. In this way, joy is not about avoiding discomfort, but about embracing the wholeness of existence with open arms. To live in the present is to free ourselves from the endless striving and searching that keeps joy at bay. It is to see that life is not a problem to be solved, but a mystery to be lived. When we stop chasing and start being, we discover that joy was never missing, it was always here, waiting for us to notice it. In the simple act of being fully present, life becomes vibrant, meaningful, and above all, joyful. In the grand symphony of life, joy, freedom, and fulfillment are not found in distant horizons or carefully constructed plans. They are discovered in the gentle flow of the present moment, in the acceptance of life's impermanence, and in the deep realization that we are not separate from the universe but an intimate part of its unfolding.